it's for love. Love rescue me. When you have hate in your heart, when you have hate in your heart, it does come like a serious venom on a poison dart. All your in and out of self change. What's the use, children? What's the gain? I would die for love, but I will never kill for hate. Ain't no use, ain't no use, ain't no use. Killing ain't no use. I would climb up the highest mountain, swim the deep blue sea if it's for love. Love rescue me. When you have love in your heart, when you got love in your heart, then you've got the strength to resist the dark, to resist the evil. Just run your race and keep the faith. Keep the faith, keep the faith. That is what the prophet said. I will die for love, but I will never kill for hate. Ain't no use, ain't no use, ain't no use. Killing ain't no use. I would climb up the highest mountain, swim the deep blue sea if it's for love. Lord, love rescue me. I would die for love, but I will never ever shed my own brother's blood. Shed my own brother's blood. Oh no, no, no. I would climb up the highest mountain, swim the deep blue sea, only for love. Love rescue me. I would die for love, sacrifice for love, darling. I'll buy you diamonds and pearls, take you on a trip around the world. Darling, you're the one for me. You are the only one I see. Oh, you are the apple of my tree. Darling, I'll die for love. Darling, sacrifice all that I have one night and in heaven above. Darling, you're the one for me. I will supply you every need.
Woke up early one morning to the rising sun. It's bonefish season and they on the run. I gotta find bonefish foley to catch me some. See, when it comes to bonefishing, he's number one. He's bonefish foley. He's so meek and lowly. Bonefish foley. He's the one and only. Red Bay, Shallow Flats and Garden Key are his drops in the bite. He say that's where they does be. For many years he been taking out celebrities like US President Nixon. He's legendary. He's bonefish foley. Man so meek and lowly. Bonefish foley. He's the one and only. standing at the shoreline as he cruise on in. Hear the put off his boat engine. Seagulls gather to feed as they clean. The catch of the day, both fat and lean. Now Bonefish Foley, oh, he's so meek and lowly.
He's a big and lowly.
Bonefish Foley, he's the one and only. Said I was born in Andros, but I live in West End. I'm on the sea almost every day, God send. If you come looking for fun and a place to rest, just visit Love and Rosie at the Chicken Nest. Now Bonefish Foley, oh, he's so meek and lowly.
He's a big and lowly.
Bonefish Foley, he's the one and only. Now Bonefish Foley, oh, that man so meek and lowly.
He's a big and lowly.
Bonefish Foley, he's the one and only. One more time, Bonefish Foley, he's so meek and lowly.
He's a big and lowly.
Bonefish Foley, he's the one and only. Hey!
He's a big and lowly.
Conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahamaland to the foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Foundation with Howard Grant here, jamming with you on this beautiful, gorgeous, lovely, absolutely beautiful day here in the land of the living. It is Black Friday. If you're out there, you had some things in your Amazon cart. you want some things set aside in your Amazon cart, get it. If you got some things set aside in your but they don't know it as eBay, you know it as eBay. If you got it in your eBay cart, get it, right? For those particular things you're looking to be able to get, there's some great discounts here in the city of Nassau. I see some 50% off here and there, and persons being able to do those things. So hopefully you guys get straight with that, and you go out there and kind of get those things on this Black Friday. I know that a lot of persons are actually traveling also, so I guess you wouldn't be here. You may be in the States, you may be elsewhere doing whatever you have to do, but I pray that you do so with caution and safety and be able to return home in one piece in those particular instances if you're traveling or whatnot. So we're talking to you guys. I hope you guys are good out there. I got to shout out my good, decent people at Crystal Select. Crystal Select Water, premium water here in the Bahamas. East Street South, you want to be able to go and check them out. 325-1416, 325-1416. You can also get that thing delivered. If you want to be able to get that thing delivered, you can do that. Go down there and call them, speak to Mr. Clark, or speak to one of his capable persons who are definitely there to be able to assist him. It's locally bottled water, premium drinking water. Absolutely wonderful. Great prices. And it is absolutely delicious. Crystal Select. Goop, 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 goop. Crystal Select, right? I got to do this thing. I keep telling him to get the audio for me. He ain't got it yet, so I got to be able to make it for you, right? Yeah, but Crystal Select is there. I want to be able to thank you guys. Guys, we got 5 more days. Well, no, not 5. 7 more days. 7 more days before we call it wraps on the realigner for this year. We're looking to be able to expand the realigner next year. God spare our lives. We're looking to be able to go twice a month. And by the end of the first quarter, which would be March, we're hoping to go once a week. We're looking at some options of how to be able to do that. But we cannot sustain it by ourselves. We need your help. We need your assistance. We need your buy-in to the product. I don't know if you look at this and see that I'm not pale enough. Oh, Howard, your hue is too dark. We don't support you. I don't know. And I'm hoping that that's not it. I make light about it. But we're looking for your support. We're looking for your support, not necessarily having to purchase the newspaper, That's not one of the things that we're talking about. Our conversation with you and what our desires are for you, really, we need assistance with, is for you to be able to buy advertisements. So if you're selling clothes, you're selling shoes, you're selling food, you're selling car, you're selling whatever you're selling, whatever product that you have, whatever service that you offer, and you want to be able to package, we can do some great numbers for you guys. We can do some good stuff. Listen, I don't come from an establishment. I don't have 98 people to pay. We can be able to do something nice for you. All right. So it is up. Talk to us and let's be able to do something nice with the realigner, guys. It's in Grand Bahamas at Bellevue. It's at Municipal Motors. It's at Prescription Polypharmacy in 8 Mile Rock, the Garden of Eden, Roca's Gas Station, Porky's on Rubis, Esso on Soldier Road and East Street, Esso on Soldier Road and Village Road, Shell, Prince Charles, Kenneth, the paper guy on Prospect Ridge, Burton, the paper guy on Shirley Street and Blue Hill Road, the ladies that sell newspaper on New Providence Highway, Quality Convenience in the JFK Plaza. It is in Long Island with our good friend who's down there being able to sell that, so you want to be able to get to her. It's in Exuma at Smitty's Groceries Convenience, 8till8 Food Store, 8till8 Food Mart, Trene's Beauty Salon Supplies in Georgetown, Exuma, and we're going to continue to expand. If you want to be a wholesaler or one of the persons who actually distribute it for us, remember there ain't no bunch of money in this thing, but we can be able to offer you a reduced rate of being able to advertise in the paper. So if you carry in it, we could advertise for you in the newspaper and you carry it for free and distribute it to those particular persons who come into your space. So guys, we want you to be able to check it out and make some things happen with us with right back here. See the Crystal Select. All right. And the realigner. Make sure you pick up the realigner and we're going to be able to do some great stuff, right? Put the Christmas advertisement in. Advertise now. Advertise now. The holiday season is here. Make sure you get all your information in before December 5th. Before December 5th. Make sure you get your information in with us. You want to talk about that and find out more information, you can give me a call, 827-0111. Get your information in with us for the realigner before December 5th, 2025. All right? It's going to be the last edition for the year. So we want to be able to sort of a year in review, We want to talk about the death of Von Miller. We want to talk about the by-election. We want to talk about the excitement thereof. We want to talk about union issues. We want to talk about, we're going to have conversations about World AIDS Day, which is going to be next week, Monday, December 1st, 2025. So we're going to be talking about all manner of things and really trying to be able to compress what we're doing and what we've done for the entire year and bringing that to the forefront. So we want to hear from you guys. And we want you to be able to be a part of what we're doing. Please give me a call, 827-0111, or just hit us up on the Realigner, right? I think it's ads at therealigner.com, ads at therealigner.com. And, one of my persons could be able to respond to you and get back to you as soon as humanly possible. They can be able to do that, all right? So that's that. And... yeah, man, we're looking forward to some things on December 17th. On December 17th, we're going to have a little small soiree, a little opening, a little Christmas party. We're inviting some people. We hope to have the Prime Minister there being able to cut the ribbon for us into our new space and new place. Remember, man, we're out here talking and we're talking real talk. I need your help. I need your support. And if you believe in sort of the next dispensation of how things are going, how things are, if you believe in, black business, if you believe in entrepreneurialism, if you believe in locals trying to be able to get a foot up, if you can help and you wish to help, if there's been kind of something that's been sitting in the corner of your heart and you wish now to give it some attention in terms of being able to find assistance or lend assistance where you can or giving back, hey, man, let me be your first person, right? Help me. Right? Help me if you can. We're looking for persons to be able to buy into a concept that we have. We have an equity sheet that you can be able to look at. We have a breakdown. We have the valuation of the property over the next 3 years. We have all the entities that we're going to be able to do. Radio, traditional radio, and digital radio. So we're going to be on TuneIn Radio also. Television is not going to be the traditional television, right? I don't have that kind of money to be able to go to IRCA to get a TV license. Not now. But we don't necessarily need that. We get an app on your Fire Stick, on your Roku, on all those particular things. We're working those things out. By the time as January 5th rolls around, God spare our lives, you should be able to see all of that, right? So you should be able to pick us up, boom, right on your Roku, right on your Fire Stick, right on your Apple TV, right on all those particular things. You should be able to pick us up, boom, and you should be able to see a morning show, some nice little Caribbean stuff, some movies from Bahamians and other Caribbean people. We working. All right? And then you'll see this show, and then we're going to see if we can be able to get some other persons to be able to pick up a show and do some stuff. We got our whole studio. We got studio. So we got the whole studio set up. We could be able to do we could do podcasts in there. If you want to be a part of what we're doing, if you're excited, and if you got a little, a hint of jealousy, stay away from me, for Jesus' sake. I don't want you around me. How of them could do that? Get from around me. I don't have the time for that. If you want to participate, this ain't you working for me. This is me investing into a platform that could be able to open up for everyone. You ain't working for me. If you got talent, you got skills to pay the bills, and you will make some things happen, come forward. If you can be in the back there and call me to find out, well, how would I always do that? And who does it? And how much I got to cost you? Hey, don't call me. Don't call me. I don't have the time for it. Hey, go and research and find out like how I had to do. And pay. If you want to do it, go do it. None of this happened because I know somebody special. I pay and I get it done. So let's get it done. If you want to be able to be a part of it, you don't have to pay that exorbitant fee. Because, woo, Jesus. It wasn't. Jesus. I would have me. I need help. I'm serious, man. I need, if you want to help and you want to be able to be a part of this, you can do that. All right. But we're not going to stop pushing. My business partner tells me every day, he says, Howard, every day we got to keep on pushing. And I looking at him, I say, listen, we ain't got this. And he say, Howard, every day we got to do something. We got to keep pushing. Right. So this is essentially the doing something and that determination to keep pushing. So we're going to keep pushing and keep on doing everything that we have to do in this kind of a space, right? Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, this will, with persistence, with consistency, with determination, with focus, with strategy, with this kind of relentless, unyielding posture that we have, this can catch on. And it will be the next wave, the new wave, right? And how things are being able to be done in the country. All right, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There's no difficulty in it. Don't worry about it. We're going to be okay. Let's honor God and glorify Him for all that He's done and all that He continues to do. If you're with it and you're down, give me a call, 827-0111, or hit me up on the email. If you want to be able to do that, you can send some information in there, or call me if you want to have a good conversation. How much it can cost for me to get in? What percentage you pay? How much I can get my money back? When you all just pay out your dividends? Let's talk and let's see exactly what's what. All right, we are here, guys, on this gorgeous day to talk a little bit about what's happening in the country. I don't know. Did I go too hard yesterday on Hubert Ingram? Did I? I mean, do you feel like I did? There's no more room in our society for bull skaters. There's no more room for lies. Voter apathy is not because of anything else other than disbelief. Not into the specifics of an organization. Right? Let's talk, man. Let's talk. The voter apathy. This disdain, sort of an idea of distance, the lack of enthusiasm of being able to move towards the electoral polls to vote for your party of choice. The voter apathy exists not because of anything other than fatigue. We are tired of liars. Now, every government that comes in can get whipped with the same kind of a switch. And the DNA coined this sort of a term socially, not globally, socially. Two sides of the same coin. Yeah, for them and the PRP, two sides of the same coin. And because this steeped into our psyche socially, it's steeped into an idea that, oh, maybe the DNA is correct. Maybe these guys are one of the same. As a result of that, and even before that, the government has been whipped with a social exhaustion of the promises that one administration makes, and then when they get in, after we've given you an opportunity, you don't do that. Governments have been whipped with the concept and idea that you've not been focused on us outside of being able to retrieve a vote from us. As soon as we give you an opportunity, and this is what we thought that the Davis administration was shaping up to do initially. Can I say this? Can we just kind of be just kind of a vulnerable thing? Can we be honest here? When the Davis administration went off to COP26 and they flew all about after you all and say, well, Brave can't travel, you can't let him be the prime minister. It was the stupidest. Anyway, nonetheless, After you all went on this long rampage and you all sent Brave Davis picture around the Bahamas with him drinking, I think he was having a beer at one of the baseball games. And you say, what Brave in the States say? Oh my God, I thought he couldn't travel. And then the Prime Minister actually won, Prime Minister Brave Davis. And after he won, we saw him travel to COP26. Not knowing the relationships associated, not knowing what the potential was, not knowing about the necessity for being able to forge relationships in preparation to be able to move the country in one direction or another. We didn't know that. All we see is travel. All we see is you're here. You know? And so we kind of labeled them, even in the midst of the honeymoon period, as a government that will be doing relentless traveling. And it didn't help that I think over the next few COPs, the COP 26, 27, so forth and so on, we saw an expansion of a team that actually went over. Remember when Clint went over and so forth and so on? And Kerry Shabak and all these things. It was weird, right? And the country identified this spending, this splurging as much of the same old. Okay? And we as journalists didn't help. And those persons as the administration, they didn't help. Because they should have explained to us the intricacies of what the expectations are in these particular areas and sort of the vision that they cast for why they're doing this. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. As time progressed, then we would have been able to get more information as to what we can be able to get from this, capture from this, and what we can see. But in the interim, it was a lot of the same sort of an exhausted posture that we had with the Davis administration. Much of this was during their honeymoon period. All they're doing is traveling, all they're doing is this. And so they were shaping up to be stuffed into the same box as we put the former administration, FNM. The administration prior to that, PLP. The administration prior to that, FNM. We have categorized each one of those administrations over the course of the past 25 years in our country in two categories. There's no complexity here. Success or failure. That's it. There's no subsectors here. There's no offshoots here. We're not looking for sub-departments or anything else. Either you're successful or you're failed. No administration has come to a conclusion and an understanding that the Bahamian people are looking for you to be able to be successful, not from an external standpoint, not from an economic standpoint in terms of what you do with IMF, the World Bank, XM, and so forth and so on. We're not looking for success in those areas. In fact, a lot of Bahamians aren't able to necessarily detect and measure success micro from those particular subsectors. So we lump you into a category of success or failure. And as basic as it is, as rudimentary as it is, as the simplicity of what it is that a lot of this is perception and a lot of this is emotion. We perceive that you're not focused on us, and we perceive and feel that you're not taking care of us the way that you are. Every single administration has been whipped with the belt of emotion. Socially, socioeconomic emotion. Every administration in this country over the past 25 years, specific, let's not spill into the 90s. Every administration has been whipped with the belt of socio-political expectation over the course of the past 2.5 decades. And the success or the failure, let's not say the success, because success has nothing to do with it, right? We have two options. If we perceive you or feel you are a failure, then it's almost automatic. The next guy is coming in. It's almost automatic. The next guy is going to come in. Okay? We perceive the FNM. We were done in 2002 with Hubert Ingram. We were done with him. We're not going to let Ingram turn into Lyndon Pinling, being able to hold the reins for 25 years. He's not done enough. He said that he needed some more time. We gave him enough time, 1997, and he did not do all that we thought that he should have done. I'm sorry. We're going to give the next guy a chance. The next guy was Perry Christie. Between 2002 and 2007, Perry Christie had an opportunity to be able to present himself in a formal capacity as not only leader, but also prime minister of the country. And during this particular tenure and his time, he didn't do much. He didn't. And this is where it begun. Let's just shoot straight. This is where it begun. It began at the juncture with Perry Gladstone Christie. It began at this particular juncture where we found ourselves at the forefront, being able to face the great expectation of what the future could bring as we ushered in a new leadership with Perry Gladstone Christie. And then we had one debacle after another internally in the PLP. And the focus on national growth and development was suppressed in comparison to what our expectations or what had been articulated that should have happened or they intended to happen. You bring back the Free National Movement. 2007, 2012. The focus again was on micro projects, small projects that would be able to afford the proper sitting and strategic position of one, the political organization, which was the FNM, to be able to say that the FNM has done these particular things, and two, the leadership of the FNM to say that I, Hubert Ingram, have the wherewithal to make sure that you are in a good position. This is 2007 to 2012. We weren't satisfied with that. 2012 to 2017, we weren't satisfied. Perry Christie came in and did the exact same thing on a bigger level, on a global scale. He sought to be able to, as he articulated, this time is for my legacy. And this is what I talked to you about yesterday. You've already had your years, 40 years in this particular thing, and you wait until the last few steps before your curtain call to be able to talk about legacy. Every step that you would have made towards those last steps should have been a day with clarity and understanding that I'm building a legacy. But you didn't think about that. You thought about it at the end. And as a result of this sort of a backward thinking, the people discharge you unceremoniously. That's his words. He loved those words. Right? That sort of unceremonious discharge that was associated with that. Hold on one second. Yeah, sorry about that. This unceremonious discharge that happened was because you decided to create a legacy in your last few days before completion. You decided to focus on your legacy at the last few days before your completion. Voter apathy is that we've heard enough of Perry Christie. We've heard enough about Hubert Ingram. We've heard enough about Hubert Minnis, right? And he didn't get whipped as much as the others. But nonetheless, because of the post-traumatic stress political disorder that existed for us and with us for almost 2 decades prior to him being able to come in, he got a lot of that whipping. A lot of that whipping. And now we're here having a conversation about low voter turnout in the constituency of Golden Isles. Everyone is seeking to theorize this. Give a theoretical discharge of why these particular things happen. It happened because we tired. We tired. We tired of your damn lies. We tired of you using us to be able to find yourself in a better position, and then you discarding us like tissue. Like we are tissue paper. You clean with us and then you discard us. There's no other use for us other than that one use. That one use, which is our ex. We're being used. And people have placed themselves in a posture, many people, not all, many people have placed themselves in a posture where if I'm going to be used, I'm going to get something from this. If you can use me and discard me anyway for my ex, I might as well get something for this. There's no social integrity. There's no nationalism here. This is selfish and self-absorbed. And it's not as a result of a mindset that exists in the Bahamian psyche. It's as a result of the introduction of selfishness and all for me from our political leaders. Our political leaders run after the acquisition of stuff for themselves. They ensure that they're in a good position financially. They ensure that they take care of their families. They ensure that all these particular things, all their bases are covered, and then they shift focus on you. It seems like that's what former Prime Minister Perry Christie's done. That he would have looked at everything else before he took care of the constituency of Centerville, and more importantly, the constituents of the country when he was sitting in capacity as Prime Minister of the country. The Bahamian people have told enough cut behind over the years. And every constituency recognizes that. No one cares about whether or not the earth is flat or round or opaque or rhombus. No one cares about that because we are enslaved in a particular capacity and unable to reach our goals, our hopes, our ideas, the aspirations that exist in our heart. No one cares about anything other than being able to ensure that they can take their children out of this. No one cares. You want them to care. You doing your best and your mouth tired and white round the edges as you talk your guts out. And the Bahamian people don't care about that. Their children having problems getting back to the United States of America. They don't have the finances to be able to send their children to the best schools. They don't have the finances to ensure that their children aren't amidst the perceived violence that exists in the private school, in the public schools. They were afraid. They were afraid. They want to educate their children. They want to empower their children. They were afraid. They feel cheated when they go to these particular public schools and it's not safe. And then you get the statistics and you identify these things and you look at these things and you're afraid about the ideas, whether or not these are illegal immigrants or the children, the first generation children of illegal immigrants in these particular spaces that are taking up the spaces and slots for our children. They're afraid. The Bahamian people don't have time to sit down here and have a casual conversation with you about what you could do for this constituency. No one cares. No one cares. The reason we live in this constituency outside of the city of Nassau or the center of the city is because we don't want to hear all them gunshots. You've done everything to be able to say that you've brought it to the forefront. We could hear where the gun's shooting. All the spot shotter could tell you where the gunshot was over there. Gunshot was here. Gunshot over there. Who care about where the gunshot is? We want that to stop. How can we care that you're spending so much money to ensure where gunshots are, and when it comes to being able to recognize and understand that there are well-off people who are coming into our country with ammunition and guns and this and that, and you let them off with a spank on the wrist? It's an exhausting thing. It's an exhausting thing. And many Bahamian people won't be able to weave this sort of a web for you and show you this sort of a display. They won't be able to show it to you. They wouldn't be able to sit down and crochet the entire thing and then show it to you and say, well, this is why I am disappointed with these. They won't be able to articulate that, but there's something that exists, the intangibles in our spirits, that the unspoken that exist in these particular spaces. And we are disengaged. Our relationships are going to mess. We're rowing with our children and our family. We feel uncomfortable. We are exhausted. We have all these issues. And a lot of it stems from our hopes and expectations not being met. And the fact that we don't have the power and the wherewithal, the reach, or the arms to be able to change these things for the betterment of our family. And so all we can do is hope that the next guy ain't a damn liar. That's all we can do. And we sit here in this particular capacity and we wait and wait and wait and hope to God that the next guy is not a liar. And we do our best. We do our best. We do our best. But for the most part, up until this juncture, because I can't whip the Davis administration, I see them trying to be able to do some things. The Bahamian people are just exhausted with this process. And Hubert Ingram will come on here and say that these people don't exist. And Shivago Line could be able to say the COI and the FNM got more votes than the PLP. I don't know how you could be able to. You could put all two of them in one bucket. That don't even make no sense. That don't make no sense. Anything to be able to show the government up, you'll just do that. Any stupid thing. Stupid. The COI and this is disenchanted voters, they would have never voted for the FNM. Who decided to vote for the FNM? Got up and voted for the FNM. Who decided to vote for COI? Got up and voted for the COI. The COI was in a party that just popped up today. They gave you a vision, a concept, an idea, a leadership, whether you're indifferent with them or not, whether or not you agree with them or not, they gave you what you needed. And 300 and some people, 348 people decided I began with the COI. How the hell the FNM getting that? They had convention, they had proper vetting, they had nomination, they had ratification, they did everything. They're not a fly-by-night party. They established themselves. Those people, they probably had on their COI t-shirt. They got t-shirts made, they had the rally, they had motorcade, they did everything to establish themselves in this country as a legit organization. You take their support and give it to the FNM. You all need to stop your friggin' lying in this country. Stop it! Nobody, listen, no, people sick and tired of this, man. We sick and tired of this, man. You keep trying to spin the narrative, the friggin' truth in front of us, it's right there. Nobody into this. You lies too damn much. Ain't nobody into this? People are disenchanted with the sort of idea that all you all is the same people. The only one difference, there's a denominator that exists here, and that one denominator is Brave Davis. He's the only denominator here. He's the only proverbial salmon that is swimming upstream in this political malarkey. One. Hubert Ingram come, run on with a bunch of garbage. The Free National Movement try to be able to spin the narrative in the paper today. FNM ought to be very proud of Pintard. You know, I've just celebrated my 22nd anniversary, and I didn't do it as big as I wanted to because we're doing some stuff. 22nd years. I didn't travel, I didn't do anything. And through the course of my relationship, it's been up and down. Rowing sometimes. There's always been love, but there's been indifference. And at those junctures, if I'm going to be absolutely honest with you, it's not because of anything other than my expectations of where I should have been. And then internalizing those issues and being able to, when you open your mouth, you let this kind of an anguish out. So I was an ass. I tell you, I know I was being asked sometimes. I'm honest. I'm not going to lie to you. So over the 22 years, we've been up, we've been down, we've been broke, we've been good. You understand? Over the 22 years, we've been blessed straight through. But the management thereof for ourselves and our relationship has not necessarily been the best. For me. I know Howard Grant. I could have done better. I know. And the beauty about our relationship, especially when you have holy matrimony, right? These people who have civil unions and these people who incorporate God into their unions, they may not necessarily know what I mean. The grace that comes with a very clear understanding that there's God involved, it provides us an opportunity for being able to reset, to refresh, to revive, to restore, to redeem, to rejuvenate. But that has to be a clear understanding. There has to be forgiveness, there has to be vulnerability, there has to be honesty. And we've learned that throughout the course of our marriage. And both of us know at some point the ass will return. We know that. Both of us know this. The ass that is her and the ass that is me will return at some juncture. We know that. And we're not upset about it or nothing like that. We navigate it, right? Navigate those treacherous shores. I don't get to be able to reset from the perspective of being able to say, okay, well, over the past 5 years hasn't been good. I don't want to marry her anymore and be able to take her back to the thing and then, have somebody else campaign to be my wife. I don't get to do that. I have to endure in this relationship, and for the good, the bad, the indifference, richer or poorer, till death do us part. This is where I am. This is the commitment that I've made. Now I know some men decide that they don't want this woman no more. They divorce her, find another woman, and women do the same thing. But my faith, my conviction, my determination, and my upbringing has placed me in a position that we have to fight for the things that we've committed to. Despite the fact that an ass exists here or not. We have grace, we have God, and we invite him into this space and we ask for forgiveness, for revival, for restoration, for realignment. God is good. From a national standpoint, as we look at the world, as we look at our country, and we look at the leadership that exists in these particular spaces, we have an opportunity to be able to choose. We don't get that opportunity in many other spaces in our lives. But we get to choose. We get to choose between A or B. I can't say good or bad. For the most part, over the years, it's been the lesser of two evils. But we get to choose. And in being able to choose that, as we look left, as we look right, we can make a determination with our convictions, with our commitment, that we believe that this guy is the best guy for us at this point. And we choose. We choose. We don't get that many choices in our lives. Politicians, I want you to hear me. The Bahamian people don't get many choices in our lives. We can't choose an occupation. I see people pumping gas and say this is a career. They don't get to choose, whether it be education, exposure, experience, even the belief within themselves. They, in their minds, don't have a choice. This is their portion in life. And so they work. Living in the ghetto, hit there and shoot shots, bust off all night. Knowing your educational capacity and your content position, living in this particular mess for the most part, you still don't get a choice. And so you stay. Relationships, you don't necessarily get a choice. A lot of persons. You stay. Bahamian people have been stagnant for a long time. And the hopes and expectation, I can tell you about this. The hopes and expectation that you have for a Redeemer has been shifted for a long time from God. Y'all don't want me. Y'all don't want to talk to me. You don't want to talk to me. Politics has shifted our focus from the Calvary and the cross into our politician. You did that. You did that. Politics subconsciously transposed biblical heroes, biblical men of faith determined to execute the will of God in their lives, and they transposed those men and tried to be able to project them into your mind through local political figures. And so you call Lyndon Pindlin Black Moses. That's what you did. Anywhere you could be able to find any simulation of a black political figure being able to line up with what our expectations are with a biblical figure, you take the chance to do that. You go Goliath, you go David and Goliath, you go Black Moses, you go all these, whatever you have to do, you can find a way to be able to align these stories so they could mesh, and we could be able to ascribe and sear into the brains of the Bahamian people that this is your liberator. I swear y'all don't want to talk to me. Honest to God, this ain't a conversation that you want to have, because you want to lie to yourself. You don't want to see this. You want to play like this doesn't exist. You're looking for a savior. The Bahamian people, I was angry with my mother from 2007 to 2012. Angry with her. Not because of anything that she's done, but because of how I looked at politics. And how I believe that there should have been opportunity simply because of your proximity. And ignoring the fact that this was nepotism, this was ignoring the fact that if she would have done this, all this would have supersede the laws in place to ensure that she held her integrity in point. I couldn't give two scraps about that. I was in a bad place. I needed things to be done. And before my mother won, I had already saw myself successful through what she would have done for me. I anticipated success based upon what I expected her to do for me. And when that didn't happen, I was angry with her because I wanted a savior. I wanted a savior. I just bleed out my heart for you all, and I tell you the truth. I don't lie. I ain't got no time for lying. I tell you the truth. I was angry with my mother. And then I had to realize, stop being an ass. Your mother can't save you. You need to refocus on the things that God has called you to do. Move in the purpose that God has called you to move. Do what God has called you to do. And as soon as you do that, He have to come true for you, or else He's a liar. His word is not yea and amen, it's a lie. Align yourself and try God. And as soon as I did that, God is good. Shato Manande. Hey, glory. Talk to me. But the Bahamian people may have not come to this epiphany as yet. And no one from a political standpoint wishes to be able to let you know that we have to turn our focus away from us, away from the politics, away from the individuals, onto God. No one. People come in here with their armor, the breastplate of unrighteousness, oh God, the sword of personal correction, oh God. They have their own adornment and accoutrements to be able to set themselves up as small gods. And so we look at them, hopes, expectation, a rich desire for a savior. And because Perry Christie couldn't save us, because Hubert Ingram couldn't save us, because Hubert Minnis couldn't save us, Brave Davis in his particular capacity, no matter what he try or don't try, there exists a voter apathy that says none of them could save us, let's not even go out. Hubert Ingram would rather, to be able to keep the idea alive that he still existed as a political god in our society, would rather lie to you. He would rather lie to you and say to you that these numbers don't exist. Let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, that these voters don't exist. We didn't know that the 23rd of November, the 22nd of November, the 21st of November, we didn't know that when Vaughn Miller died. We didn't know that when Obie Wilscombe died. We didn't know that in 2012. We didn't know any of this. We thought that there would have been modifications based upon information that came to the forefront. Now you're saying that it has been conflated. Why would you take that route? Outside of the route of saying that the Bahamian people are absolutely exhausted with the process entirely. We're exhausted of people lying to us. We're tired. We've had our fill. We need to get to a place where we could live. In 1973, when the Union Jack fell and the Bahamian flag rose, and a spirit, just like the spirit that moved on the top of the water, moved and floated above the Bahamian society and to all the islands and keys and to the diaspora, and seeped into the hearts of the Bahamian people, this spirit that gave us euphoria and the idea that the segregation that existed, the separation that amplified the Bay Street Boys and those people on top of the hill from the valley and those people over the hill, that proverbial Berlin Wall was broken, and it gave us access. Bahamian mothers and fathers, grandparents, brothers and sisters, uncles, they started to have conversations about hope. Look at the voter turnout at the next election. I think it was 77. Look at the voter turnout. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at the participation that we had. And then it fell off. And then in 1992, it was a revival, a resurgence, a desire, a reminder that there is a course to travel. We didn't have a voter apathy then. We were disgruntled with an individual in his leadership capacity and what he would have done based upon what he said that he would do. And so we shifted to the Free National Movement. Look at the numbers that came out that changed the government. Look at the participation that was in the country at the time. Look at it. Now, all of y'all then lied to us in one way or another. Every one of you lied to us. You men of old who are responsible for being able to be the gatekeepers for our political and progressive future have lied to us. You didn't start off as liars. You've evolved into this particular posture because you've recognized that anything you say from this perched, elevated position, people are gullible and they will consume it. But you don't know what to do when you're met with voter apathy. People are tired of your flipping lies. It's enough. It's enough. The next dispensation of politicians don't need to hit you with a gimmick. They don't need to pull on your heartstring and have a conversation with you to say, look at this, we're all going to be dead. The Haitians are coming to kill us. The Haitians are coming. The Haitians are coming. There's no need for that. The next dispensation of leaders in this country shall come wrapped in righteousness and speak with transparency, honesty, and their words will connect in the hearts of the Bahamian people. They don't have to give you gimmicks. They don't have to promise you $100,000. They don't have to say, look, watch out now, watch out. The Haitians can kill you. They don't have to say none of these things. None of these things. There's a very clear understanding that speaks right to the hearts of the Bahamian people. We've had it before. And Bahamian people, articulate or not, will know when it is revived and restored. There's one element I can say with honesty that I'm hearing in the country right now. If not all the elements exist, there's one element that exists in the leadership that exists now. Brave is a man of his word. If you say he can do it, he will do it. That's the one element that exists. Now, we haven't stretched far and wide his cabinet. We haven't stretched far and wide the people that are around him. We haven't stretched those particular things far and wide about the influence that exists in these particular spaces. But we know one thing. If the Prime Minister has indicated that he can do it, he will do everything he can to make that thing happen. Voter apathy will always exist in this country until we come to grips with ourselves and understand that honesty is the best policy. The Bahamian people have too much access to information. We study in these things. Rick Fox now won't come in like a new JC. You know who's JC? Jesus Christ. He trying to come in now. He trying to come in now. Somebody put a robe on him and put the fan on him like Beyonce. Yeah, put the fan on him like Beyonce. Put the robe on his back. Allow his nice porcelain teeth to be able to glisten in the air as his hair continues to be able to beat aside. But let him look like a big savior. That's where everybody want to be Jesus Christ. Because people could recognize that these are issues. And him in the papers this morning having this kind of a conversation about these things. You know that you're wrong, Rick. Ambassador at large, you know that you're wrong. How can you go against the government's thing? You were an ambassador. You should at least step down. I hope you're not comparing yourself to what's happening with Sabas. I hope you're not comparing yourself, believing that you should have the liberty to be able to access the same things as you look at Sabas. Sabas supports the government in more ways than one. Sabat supports the government. You are working at the pleasure of the Prime Minister. That's it. That's it. And if you find yourself being able to buck heads and your conviction is pricking you and saying no. Yeah, we know you may need a couple dollars. Not in a bad way. We know taxes are high. You all think Bahamians don't read it. You think we don't know what's going on? You think we don't know what's going on in California? You don't think we know the taxes? You don't think we know that what you have to pay? You don't think we know? Oh, Jesus, where you think we is? We live here on this earth, you know? This ain't no hollow earth for the Bahamas. Ain't nobody's going a tunnel. And they cut off the Wi-Fi when we get here. We here. We here. You should do the right thing. If you don't agree, leave. Leave. But you can't pay Vanessa Williams that money. Jesus. Yeah, man. See, and I'm not even refuting your position. I'm not saying you're not a Bahamian. I'm not saying none of these things, man. I'm saying this is the way that the thing is done in this country. This is not the Dems. This ain't the GOP. There's FNM and PLP. And you better know how to navigate that. Because just as soon as we perch you up and elevate you on our shoulders and celebrate you, we'll drop you right there. Better know how to be able to deal with this. Because we got to live here. We ain't got no choice. There's no place to go. I can't jump on the flight and say, well, let me go to California and pay 50% of my taxes there. I hear. You won't come here. Praise Jesus. We're not going to fight you. Let's take a quick break, guys. We're going to be right back after this.
Early one morning to the rising sun. It's bonefish season and they on the run. I gotta find bonefish Foley to catch me some. See, when it comes to bonefishing, he's number one. He's Bonefish Foley. He's so meek and lowly. Bonefish Foley. He's the one and only. Shallow flats and Garden Key are his drops in the bite. He say that's where they does be. For many years he been taking out celebrities like US President Nixon. He's legendary. He's Bonefish Foley. Man so meek and lowly. Bonefish Foley. He's the one and only. At the shoreline as he cruise on in, hear the put off his boat engine. Seagulls gather to feed as they clean. The catch of the day, both fat and lean. Now Bonefish Foley, oh, he's so meek and lowly. Bonefish Foley, he's the one and only. But I live in West End, I'm on the sea almost every day, God send. If you come looking for fun and a place to rest, just visit Lover and Rosie at the Chicken Nest. Now Bonefish Foley, oh, he's so meek and lowly. Bonefish Foley, he's the one and only. Now Bonefish Foley, oh, that man so meek and lowly. Bonefish Foley, he's the one and only. One more time, Bonefish Foley, he's so meek and lowly. Bonefish Foley, he's the one and only. Hey!
Da 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 ding 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 day. Da 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 ding 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 day. Here is a story that's also true. Just sit right back and I tell it to you. But my grandpa used to tell to me when I was nothing more than the age of 3. Auntie B, she used to roast the corn. Everyone else they would gather around to hear these stories that he would tell about the ghost who used to cry out from the well. Aha! Who there? On the front road about a half a mile, there was a house belonged to Mr. Styles. He used to live the island life, just him and the only wife. She used to cook and clean and scrub, polish the windows, wash the tub. There's nothing that Annie wouldn't do. She never round, never ever argue. She swore to love him till the end of time. Her love was true, gentle and oh so kind. She wanted their love to last forever, and if he ever died, they'll have to go together. Annie, 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 I know I was wrong. Your love for me was oh so strong. Annie, 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 this just like hell. I used to go to trap inside the well. On Wednesdays, Annie would go to the store. Guess she jet me at 5, get back by 4. But just as soon as she turned to go, Styles got woman coming through the back door. They drink green seal, make love in the room. They both so drunk, he realized she coming home. Annie couldn't believe just what she see. Pick up the gun and aim it at Lee. She fire one shot, just miss the head. The next.
Good afternoon, guys, and we're back right here on the foundation, being able to jam with you and have a good conversation. I want you to be able to see some stuff. We kind of, pop some things from Eyewitness, but I want you to see it as we talk about and continue to talk about national growth and development and being able to identify those particular things. Take a look at this.
News from the political arena, the former Deputy Prime Minister Brent Simonet suggesting boldly tonight that despite the Free National Movement losing both the 2023 West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election and the recent Golden Isles contest, the party remains in a strong position to win the next general election. Simonet claiming that the governing Progressive Liberal Party had to throw, quote, every resource into securing those 2 seats, and argues that when the entire country goes to the polls, that level of concentrated push will not be possible. Now, he says he believes the national outcome will be far less favorable for the PLP.
Get the hype. The government threw all of its bureaucracy and its power and its might into Golden Isles, and only 49% of the electorate turned out. The candidates went backwards in terms of number of votes for the last election.
Only 49% of the voters turned out, which is this is peculiar, because his former leader, the Free National Movement, has already indicated that those numbers are inflated, that thousands of people can't even be able to be seen. Thousands of people, thousands, is indicated. And so if we go from Hubert Ingram's perspective, that this proverbial 51% may not even exist, right? But Brent Simonet, the number man, in terms of he understands numbers and business. He understands business and this particular perspective. He's not giving you a projection based upon what he believes doesn't exist. He's saying to you, 49 people came out and they were unable to capture another 51%. You understand what I'm saying? The FNM doesn't have their message together in terms of what you would want to be able to, what are your takeaways from this? Okay? Pull it back a little bit, press play.
49% of the electorate turned out. The candidate went backwards in terms of number of votes for the last election. So while it might be...
The candidate went backwards in terms of number of votes from the last election. Okay? Vaughn Miller would have been able to retrieve more votes in this particular capacity in this area than Darren Pickstock. But Brian Brown also was able to get less votes, 1,600 in comparison. I think he got 1,800 or some the last time. Oh, I don't know what we're saying. Brian Brown, who is the only constant here, he's the only one that existed in this particular space throughout the course of the last two elections. Darren Pickstock, brand new to the constituency over the past 40 some days, 41 days, 42 days, something like that. Brand new. And Brian Brown reduced in numbers. In fact, he won no polling division over 35 votes. None. Darren Pickstock, 60 some, 100 and some. I really don't know what we're saying. If we're just going to talk about who has a head start, Brian Brown should have had a head start. And he knew that. That's why they ran forward. That's why they went forward. That's why he was willing to invest his own finances. Brian Brown knew that he had a fighting chance to be able to win this. And he fought. He fought his guts out. Brian, you are in top form. I might as well tell you the truth. You are in top form. I criticize you, what you said, but the passion that you brought, that determination, that focus, that commitment, the way that you were able to galvanize the support, the way that you were upfront and bold about doing these particular things, you were in top form, baby. You were doing your thing. But you can't beat the machinery of the government. And as Brent Simonette sits here and being able to have this kind of a conversation with us, you still have to be able to present your mobilization. I understand that maybe you got assistance elsewhere also, right? I understand that you would have been able to get assistance from they washes you, precious you, cleaned you, and entertained you 24/7. I understand that. That you may have gotten, based upon alleged allegations, based upon these kind of speculations was received to me. I understand that you got some assistance, but you had to present your own mobilization. And as Brent Simonette sits here in this particular capacity as a former deputy leader of the Free National Movement and a Minister of Finance and all the other various positions that he's held in the organization, I'm sure that he still is a meritorious council member, and he's also an advisor to the government of the Bahamas, to the Free National Movement for life, a lifetime member and advisor to the council of the Free National Movement. As he sits here in this particular capacity, he's having a conversation with us to tell us about some things that the government's machinery, the government's finances, the government's this, the government's that. But you had to come up with your own bread, cousin. I'm sure he assisted, and others, in their various capacity after the ball got rolling. After you injected your enthusiasm, your energy, your determination, your focus. They saw you jam it. They went. They say, all right, now let's show him a blow. Press play.
That Mr. Pickstock was the first past the post and he'll become the MP. I don't put that much weight in that, because when you go into a general election, he will not have that structure and that bureaucracy of the party, the PLP party.
Let's pause. I agree with him. I said that. I agree with him. Every man for themselves and God for us all. Brave Davis in Cat Island, Chester Cooper in Exuma, Fred Mitchell definitely in Fox Hill. You understand? Everybody trying to get their own things taken care of. Both you and Kingsley gonna have some issues in your various constituencies. Yeah, because people have great expectations and you all are unable to fulfill those expectations with the short time that you had. And this is one of the reasons why Brian Brown should have never contested. because all you had to do is amass more information to show the incompetence, the incapability, the this, the that, the next thing. Yeah, all you had to do over the course of these next few months, because they was going to win anyhow. They was going to win. And if what Hubert Ingram indicated was that if they win, then they go to general election quick, then all you needed was 90 days to 120 days to be able to follow behind every Jesus thing that Darren Pickstock did. And stand there with your 200 people behind you and say, look at this pothole in the road. He ain't fixed that yet. Look at this project. He ain't done. Look at this sidewalk. He ain't finished this. Look at this light. This out. Look at this. This man ain't he ain't good for nothing. Blah, whatever you have to say. You should have done that and take your campaign on the road and to social media and to other spaces to be able to perpetuate the fact that you thought, just like as we thought, he could never fulfill those things. And whilst he may be a little bit better than the former member of parliament who's no longer with us, he has shown us that this is a mindset of that. Whatever you had to do to kind of embellish it and present that to the people. But you didn't do that. You went forward. So now, whatever you say now is just spoiled grapes. You know what I mean? Just sour grapes. That's all this is. All this is sour grapes. You just mad because you ain't win. You just mad. You just jealous. You just... So the Bahamian people can't even give you the grace of agitation, to listen to your agitation, because it will come off as sour grapes because of the defeat. You didn't listen. You did not listen. Let's go.
Behind him to win the next general election. He'll be on his own because everyone will be trying to win their own seats.
Simonet noting that based off of the Coalition of Independents' performance in Monday's by-election, it proves that the PLP will not have an easy way to victory at the polls.
Bimini was an earlier victory. I would have thought at the moment Mr. Davis, as leader of the PLP, and his advisors should be very concerned about the next general election, because the effect of the COI has been taking some votes out, and the fact that very low voter turnout, and if you add the COI and the FNM, I think they got more votes than the PLP. I think they should be focusing on that. Mr. Brown has a good opportunity to win the next election, and it will send a message that the voters in this country have changed, and the next election will not be same old same.
Obviously, the FNM has come up with a campaign coping mechanism for the defeat in Golden Isles by being able to conjoin themselves to the COI's voting capacity. Brent Simonet, Hubert Ingram, Shivago Lang, Michael Pintard, and any seasoned member of the organization knows that when you look at the numbers, any independent, any third force will never be taken from the base of the PLP. You know that. 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 You know that the base of the extraction that we've identified to support a political organization, a third force political organization, historically has never come out of the PLP. The PLP they get low numbers, but that low numbers is always their base. The Free National Movement is an organization that perpetuates the idea of democracy, rich democracy. The Free National Movement champions the idea that within our organization exists a sense of dissidence. Remember the Dissident 8? Those persons who would have deflected from the PLP and started the free FNMs, and then eventually mobilized and developed into the incorporation of the UBP, so forth and so on, and then started the Free National Movement. Remember this? They started the Free PLP, and then they started the Free National Movement, the FNM. You remember this? The spirit of dissidence exists within the bowels, within the DNA of those persons who support the FNM. That means them, first generation FNMs for their children, first generation FNMs for their children, or the second generation FNMs. All of them exist in their genetic makeup a sense of dissidence. I is one of them people. I is one of them. Okay? I don't have no loyalty to no political organization. I have a loyalty to an idea of national growth and development. That's why I could leave the FNM. And they could call me everything they want to call me. They told me a whole watermelon. I thought it was because I was big. They said, no, because you're green on the outside and red on the inside. You know you're the FNM. Ha ha ha. Funny. But you know that dissidents exist in your organization. You know that. You know that. You know that Rodney Bonker was a FNM. You know that Cassius Stewart was a FNM. You know that Lincoln Bean was a FNM. You know that. You know that. You know that. This deflection and being able to pull away from a formal standpoint are persons who came out of the organization. Now, from an informal standpoint, as you exist in the constituencies, the exact same thing is happening. Those people who are voting for the FNM and the COI, for the independents and all these other organizations and these fractions are not PLPs. They are FNMs. And so now to be able to deflate sort of this growing concept and idea of segregation, this growing concept and idea of disenchantedness within the organization, you have to conflate your numbers. You have to take this boy 1,637 votes and add 348 votes and say, if we'd have all of them, then we would have. Well, if you knew that, you should have freaking called McAlpine. If you knew that, you should have called Kai Mills. If you knew that, you should have sit down with Lincoln Bean. But you didn't know that. You didn't know that. All of y'all men think we stupid. All of y'all think we stupid. You're sitting down and believe because of your ilk, with your former success and your position in the country and how people look at you, that we just supposed to gobble up anything that you're saying. If you knew that, you would have called McAlpine. You ain't called McAlpine yet. You ain't called him yet. McAlpine take thousands of votes from y'all. And in walks who? Ginger Moxie. Kai Mills take hundreds or maybe 1,000. I can't remember. I think Kai Mills get 900 and some. And in walks Kirk Cornish. The exact same thing will happen. No one's taking anything away from the PLP's base. No one. If the PLP got 1,675 votes in the constituency, they can get their votes. And anything else they pick up, praise God. But they ain't worrying about that. They only going to get their votes. They ain't concerned about voter apathy. They ain't concerned about low voter turnout. They ain't concerned about, look here, we got Sabas bus, we got Pia bus, we got Jobet bus, we got, you could ride on a four-wheeler if you want. We could ride on a scooter. You could ride on a little Raptor. Whatever you want, we got everything to get you to the polls. And that's what they did here. Why would you want to be able to conjoin those numbers? Why would you want to conjoin those? Listen to me. Every time Lincoln Bean and Michael Pintard get close to each other, they like two bad dogs who hate each other. And Michael have more decorum than Lincoln. So Michael will whisper, you don't know how to keep a wife. You get fired, you can't keep a job, you can't keep a wife, you can't keep nothing. I where you want to be, this way you want to be. You'll whisper that to him. And then Lincoln, roar, roar, roar. They hate each other from all intents and purposes of what we're seeing. There is no chance. Well, I can't say there's no chance. It is apparent that there is a gulf that exists between the two. When there was an opportunity to be able to have a clear conversation, you knew this, and you still let them go. You knew this. You knew that the voting electorate could pull more than 10%, and it'll affect the Free National Movement from 2012. You knew this. You watched Brandville take 13% of the voting population in the country in 2012 and send Papa home. You knew this. You did nothing to ensure that there is whatever strength exists in listen, you can't stop them from forging an organization. You can't stop people from tapping into their democratic rights. You can't stop them. You can't. You could call them stupid and idiotic and asinine and this and that. You can't stop them from being able to get together to formalize their position. You can't stop them. But what you could do, use your noggin. What you could do is identify the strength, pull the strength to the forefront, have a conversation with the strength, and at least plant the seed of doubt in their head. That's it. You may not be able to change them now. Lincoln know right now. Lincoln know right now that the COI cannot get 16.6% like Sean McQueenie is saying. They cannot get it. Lincoln cannot get 16.6%, just as the DNA did in 2012, capturing 13.3%. And then in 2017, they captured only half of that. This is it. This is it. This is not a roller coaster that goes all the way up and then steeps all the way down for third fractions of in the party. This is them little small kiddie cups. Will just take your little woo, and then that's it. The little small kiddie cups at the carnival. That's what the third fractions are. They only could be able to put a blip on that particular thing, and then they're going right back down. That's it. They cannot get over the threshold of 20%. They cannot. They don't have the wherewithal. Brandville didn't have the wherewithal. The COI didn't have the wherewithal. We March didn't have the wherewithal. They break up We March quick. All they needed to do is plant doubt in the We March head. They say whatever they needed to say to the senator. Once he put on that hat, that was it. That was it. Who do that? Ingram. Minnis. Who did that? Minnis. You sitting here trying to be able to marry the DNA, the COI and the FNM in terms of their voting population and numbers. People who voting for COI will never vote for the FNM. They ain't into that. The FNM hasn't changed leadership. They haven't changed philosophy. They haven't changed their posture in terms of how they deal with people. There's a condescension that exists there. There's an amplified concept and idea of God-like posture that exists in the trifecta of leadership. There is this sort of an idea that exists in the FNM that they're not sure about who's going to do what in terms of taking them forward towards victory. The COI will not, as much as you find Lincoln Bean to be outlandish and wild in what he's saying, Lincoln Bean has been consistent for those persons. He shows up, he's committed, he's persistent in what he does, and they will follow him. The FNM cannot say the same. You cannot marry the two numbers. Chivago, you cannot marry the two numbers. Brent, you cannot marry the two numbers. And you cannot give this posture that Pintard did well. Pintard did not do well. Brian Brown did well, though. But Pintard did not do well. Because doing well is what I said to you. He would have never let Brian Brown run. Never. That's well. And the day after Darren Pickstock was already done in their particular capacity. In fact, you know what I would have done? No, you can't do that. You're too established as an organization. You risk the credibility of the organization if you do that. Let Darren Pickstock run. And then have a timer on after the Prime Minister call a general election. Because he can call a general election by January. You can let December go through. They can party in December and have a good time and cut some ribbons and smile and have a good time with some people and whatnot and give out some gift and spend some family time and whatnot. They can enjoy the end of the year. And as they get into the beginning of the year, by the end of the first month, they can start to have this kind of a conversation of what we can look going forward, of what our expectations could be when we're going forward. We can hear it coming from the chairman. The chairman can say it. He's not going to hold his mouth. The chairman is not going to hold his mouth. He's going to say to you, the PLP is getting prepared for an early victory. Boom, boom. He's going to say to us before the end of the first thing. And then you hit your constituency. Brian Brown would have definitely won come 2026. But you show your hand. The FNM has shown their hand. Now we know where you are. We know where your finances are. We know how you're thinking. We know that you're scrambling to be able to retain this position. We know where you are. You breathing hard when we playing hide and seek. We know we can hear you behind the thing. We know where you is. Even if we play dead stupid. I'm coming to get you. We can hear you. We know you is. The FNM has shown their hand. As a result of that, you're now being placed in this kind of a position. You're going to have to be able to make this determination. You will have to do this. So I hear you, and I hear these theoretical projections and concepts and ideas and all these particular things. That is great stuff. I mean, you guys are good with the swinging. But you didn't show us your hand. The other night I watched this movie. Born Legacy. This ain't the one with Matthew. It's the next one, right? He had a tracker implanted on his side. He had a tracker. And so this is how they used to keep tabs on him and anyone who was in the program. And when they decided to shut the program down because the information spilled out, if you didn't watch it, go watch it. When they decided to shut the program down, they find themselves in this kind of a capacity where they had to hurry up and wipe out all the participants. So they sent, I guess it was cyanide, he sent a pill to everyone who was supposed to be on a particular regimen. But as soon as they took this pill, because it was a part of the sustaining of whatever modifications they did to their DNA, as soon as they took this new pill, boom, the agents fell out dead. And who they couldn't send a pill to, they sent a bomb to kill the people. This guy got away. I think his name was Alex Cross. Alex. He got, no, Chris, right? He got away. When he got away, he recognized that the tracker emits the GPS location as to exactly where he is. And the only way he could deflect from that, he put a little tin plate around his waist and duct tape it. So you could no longer know where his specific location was. The FNM exudes a political tracker, and we've identified exactly where you are. We know where you are. We know where you are with finances. You've shown yourself vulnerable. We know where you are. We know where you are. We know that it's difficult for you to get monies from your financiers. We know. We know that the financiers are indifferent whether or not they're going to give Michael Pintard this money. We know. We know that Michael Pintard, in his leadership capacity, has shown himself defiant and stubborn from the leadership standpoint in terms of being able to take advice to strategically navigate the party to where it's supposed to be. We know. How do we know? Because Hubert Ingram tell us. Hubert Ingram told us that I told Brian not to do it. You don't have to say a damn word to Brian. Brian don't get to be in these conversations. Brian don't have the access. He don't have the clearance to have these conversations. You do as you are told. You are the candidate. You're ratified. Yes, you're ratified. Praise God. You're the candidate. So you had to run that by Hubert Ingram first. You had to run it by Hubert Ingram first. Hubert Ingram and Michael Pintard, you had to run that. Hubert Ingram had to run that by Michael Pintard first. You had to run it by him first. And then Michael Pintard may have said, okay, well, Brian, we can pull you in. This is the position that we're in. Because Michael Pintard seeks to be able to find himself in the position where the burden of defeat can be shared accordingly. I told you, Michael, that ain't nobody don't share defeat. Nobody said, well, I helped them lose. Nobody shares defeat. They share victory, though. If it wasn't for me, come on, man. We got to be clear in our positions. We got to be honest. We got to be transparent as we talk about these particular things. And I have the greatest degree of respect. I have the greatest degree of respect for Brent Simonet. I ain't like Fred Magile. Brent, I ain't like Fred Magile. I want owe Commonwealth Bank some money. I have a desire to owe you money. Just give it to me first. Amen. Give it to me. And I'll take care of the rest. Don't worry about that. I don't have this kind of defiant posture on you. And I joke about that. But I'm saying to you that I'm not in this kind of a position where I feel that I should be able to bring you down. That's not what it is. But I see that the organization has taken a course. But that course is not a genuine course. Let's be real, guys. Let's be real. Let's do something. Let's do this, okay? I'm going to show you how to do this, Free National Movement, okay? Let's do this. I want you to let the screen go black for 2 seconds. 2 seconds. 2 seconds, right? And then when they come back, I'm going to introduce myself as the chairman of the Free National Movement. Let's go. Come on. Go black. Let's go. Come on, cut the thing off. Okay. Back. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Howard Grant, the chairman of the Free National Movement, and I want to thank you so very kindly for being able to join us today. To my left right here is the candidate for the Golden Isles constituency who has fought a hell of a fight. I want to thank him so much for all that he's done. Brian Brown and his family and all those persons that continue to be able to stick with him and being able to do these things. It's a wonderful fight. I want to thank him. To my right is definitely the leader of the organization, Michael Pintard, and all that he's done and everything to ensure that the FNM is shown strong, determined to be able to make these particular things happen. We recognize that democracy in this country is wavering. Over the past 25 years, we've gone from one political organization to another. And the Free National Movement, under the leadership of Michael Pintard, recognizes the importance of always being able to show up from a democratic standpoint to provide an option and an opportunity for the Bahamian people. There was a dream, there was a hope, there was an aspiration, a desire for us as the Free National Movement to find a position that we can be able to capture, not for the purposes of being able to fortify the Free National Movement, but for the dreams and hopes that exist in the Bahamian people. We fell short of that on November 24th. And whilst we can be able to look at numbers and make modifications and try to be able to design a concept and project that into society and say to you, this is because this or because of that, we want to be honest with you. We recognize that there is a true sense of voter apathy. And we recognize that we missed the mark. There's no need for us to say that. There's no need for us to be able to go anywhere outside of that. outside of being able to let you know that we want to be honest. We sat down and racked our brains about whether we did wrong, whether we did this right, what do we do according to these particular things. It's just that the PLP has a base. And the Free National Movement, in our capacity, we too have a base that is enriched with dissidents. We know a lot of our persons would have supported the COI. A lot of our persons, we've seen this in 2012. We've seen this before. And those persons, we want to say to you, come back home. The Free National Movement is an organization that seeks to be able to make modifications for growth and development in this country, but we need your help. We won't spin this. We say to you, we have work to do. And these numbers, whilst it shows defeat, there is a glimmer of victory here. We recognize that we are on the heels of this government who had an enormous purse that we just did not have. But we know, come 2026, when the bell is rung for the next general election, we will be energized, we will be ready to go, and we will transform this country with our hearts and souls. With transparency, we can do this. I want to thank you guys for coming out. We take no questions today. We continue to be able to talk, and we will be in Golden Isles feeding you turkey come Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving. We see you then. Go black and bring me back. Back. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. What the hell you running on with? You ain't got to try to lie to me about numbers. You ain't got to try to lie to me about what happened and what didn't happen. You ain't got to say who thief what. You ain't got to tell me about no passport, nothing. You get your behind on the ground. You work. If you lose, you come clean with the people. I guarantee you, you tell the truth to the Bahamian people, they coming to you. I guarantee you, you don't try to manipulate the Bahamian people, they coming to you. Nobody into no lies. Nobody into no manipulation. Nobody into this sort of a concept of you trying to be able to look at things from one avenue or another. Ain't nobody into that. No one into that. Let's be real with this, man. Let's be real with this. Okay? It's time for us to be able to be real. You're joking, man. You having the elk of the organization follow a path of a disingenuous, all of us could taste that this was unreal. This is not true. We expect better of you guys, man. You all led us when it was a rough time. You took us away from what a great deal of people in the country would have been able to identify as a totalitarian leadership who is on its way into a deep ditch. There is an affection for you in this country, but if you decide to be able to squander that legacy and that political collateral that you have with all of us by being able to manipulate us one way or another, you lose us. The PLP will win another 25 years again. That's it. Let's take a quick break, guys. Then we come back, we can wrap the thing up and take it from there.
Hey, miss, give me one number 6 and one number 7 with extra large cola and fries and plenty ketchup to go. Oh, and the wife, she want 1, 2, 3, and 4.
He head get swing by the way she look, but his gal don't cook. Now the only thing they eating is from the fast food scene. Breakfast, lunch and dinner, and junk food in between. Oh, God when he go down home.
Sheep tongue sauce with Johnny Cake.
When he go back home.
Green pigeon peas with yellow grits.
When he go down home.
Boy, I could have some old crab and rice now. With some of brother steam fried barracuda. Or some of granny chicken foot sauce. With some homemade bread. Boy, I'll put a hitting on that.
Monday, Kentucky. Tuesday, the Mac. Wednesday, check out the King. Thursday, the Shack. Friday, they eat with Dave. Saturday, Chinese. Sunday, if all goes well, pizza or the bell. Now the only time he get good food is when he go back home.
Stew fish and potato bread.
When he go down home.
Sheep tongue sauce with Johnny Cake.
When he go back home.
Green pigeon peas with yellow grits.
When he go down home.
You know them island people always making something sweet. Like cassava bread, mango duck, coconut or pineapple tart, soursop ice cream. Make you want to eat your fingers off, buddy. What?
Now Tommy Ray double, he got pressure and sugar too. Fast food ain't cheap, he gotta pay rent and he can't save a cent. So Tommy decided before he get heart attack, he going down to the island and he ain't coming back. Oh boy, Tommy, 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 Tommy. Oh boy, Tommy. Now the only time he get good food is when he go back home.
Stew fish and potato bread.
When he go down home.
Sheep tongue sauce with Johnny Cake.
When he go back home.
Green pigeon peas with yellow grits.
When he go down home.
Yeah, Tommy finally figured this thing out. Them people selling fast food for their wealth, not his health.
Boy, Tommy should've known something was wrong from the get-go. By the wedding gift Nelly picked out. No pot, no pan, not even kettle to boil water. No china set, no cutlery. I serious? All she picked out was clothes and shoes and jewelry and things. You know, their apartment she was well not even have kitchen, cause the onlyest thing in it is microwave. And she just hardly used that. Tommy say, the first time he mentioned breakfast, she say, boy, you got 99 cents? Well, honey, you better make that $1.98 so you can get one for yourself too. That boy ain't know the last time he eat on a china plate with knife and fork. All the time now is styrofoam, paper plate, plastic cup, or greasy bag from the Roach Coach. You see why he going back to the island. Now granny them may not have nothing fancy, but eating off sea grape leaf better than that. Now poor Tommy say he wife did more rather fast food, but he did more rather down home cooking. You know, somebody really should have tell Nelly that the way to keep a man's heart is still through his belly.
Some of them city people like to turn up their nose at island food, like cassava, sweet potato, old yam, and dry pumpkin, and old hard roast corn. That's why granny them so strong, 90 years old and still working in the field from before they clean. Down home food and home cooking. Now you see why Tommy wants some of that? Open his up, boy.
Tommy want good food. He don't want no fast food.
All right, guys, we got the last couple minutes before we get out of here. On December 1st, it's going to be my birthday. So Monday is my birthday. Praise Jesus. Let's play a little bit of that second clip that I showed you. Let's play a little bit of that before we get out of here.
That's my response to them. We won.
Any plans to address voter apathy ahead of the general election?
Hold on. Start over again. Start over again. Start over again. Turn it up.
That's my response to them. We won.
Any plans
Hold on,
to
what?
address voter apathy ahead of the general election?
Start it again.
No. That's my response to them. We won.
Any plans to address voter apathy ahead of the general election?
Don't forget, this is democracy. Voters have a choice to vote or not to vote. That's a choice. And if they don't vote, that's a choice. Democracy has free will. So if they don't want to vote or participate, that's their choice. For my part, I'm going to ensure that those persons who support me, support my party, I'm going to ensure that I inspire them.
Simple. Simple. One, I don't give a hell what nobody say. We won. Two, if you don't want to vote, that's up to you, baby. We ain't in your business, but PLP is coming out. And I can do whatever I got to do to get them out. Why you can't say that about the FNM? Why? Because you lost? Well, if more people would come out to be a vote, well, why you couldn't inspire people to come out? All Brian Brown told us is that this my house. We home. I home. This my house. I was so surprised at my cousin Ricardo Grant. I say, Jesus, Ricardo Grant, you's a Grant and you can't pull more people than this in your own house, 8 Mile Rock. I say, you can't do better than this. He's a popular guy. Everybody knew him. And you couldn't pull bigger numbers than this in West Grand Bahama. How? Why? What's going on? If I run an 8 Mile Rock right now, and I ain't telling you no lie, independent or not, if I run into somebody's ticket, I finish you. I can kill you. I'm going to murder you. I'm going to blow you out the water. If I run an 8 Mile Rock, you know I come in for all them votes. How? That's my home. Oh, Howard, you can't say. Let me tell you why I could say that. I'm 44 years old. All my classmates will vote for me. You got a couple PLP in there. They already didn't have a little thing. But I could convince them. They is my classmates. I could convince them. And they're cheering. They going to vote for me. I can get that. I could get them numbers. I home. I could get them numbers. If I run independent, I get maybe about 450 to 600 votes. As an independent, I could get 450 to 60 to 600 votes. As an independent, I can't tell you I can win. As an independent, I'll have more rally in the alley. I'll have my own little thing set up. I get around 8 Mile Rock, make sure I home, baby. I don't know FNM ticket. I don't know PLP ticket. I come in independent. I could take 600 votes. And that'll put Kingsley right in. Boom. Because I ain't taking them votes from Kingsley. I taking them votes from whoever, Omar Isaacs, who running for the FNM. I put Kingsley right in. So don't try to conflate this and convolute the concept and idea of what's happening in the country. Independents always pull numbers from the Free National Movement. The Free National Movement is an organization that based itself and prides itself on the idea of a rich democracy. The PLP in a rich democracy, if anything, they must have quiet meetings to tell you the whip is on, get out to the damn polls and vote. And the PLPs will show up. Only a little bit of people. Nobody care if a little bit of people voting. If 12 people vote, 9 of them is PLP. If 12 people vote, okay, let's do this. 12 people vote, 6 vote for PLP, 4 vote for the FNM, and 2 vote for independent. Who win? PLP win. 6 vote for the PLP, 4 for the FNM, and 2 for independent or third force organization. There's no two ways to look at this. It is what it is. Play the Prime Minister one more time. Then again.
That's my response to them. We won.
Any plans to address voter apathy ahead of the general election?
Don't forget, this is democracy. Voters have a choice to vote or not to vote. That's a choice. And if they don't vote, that's a choice. Democracy has free will. So if they don't want to vote or participate, that's their choice. For my part, I'm going to ensure that those persons who support me, support my party, I'm going to ensure that I inspire them to vote. I'm going to try to ensure they are not apathetic.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a beautiful weekend. All the absolute best to you as you continue to be able to fall over each other for these Black Friday deals that exist out here. I hope you guys are good. I hope you have a beautiful weekend and do so with safety and sobriety. I never say you can't have a little taste, but strong drink is raging. Oh, God. Take your time, man. You can see you on Monday, God Spare Life. On my birthday, God Spare Our Lives. See you then, guys. This is The Foundation.